If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, here to sense out of the senseless, if I could speak tonight. Right here on SHR Media, Conservative Media done right. And we got some very special guests tonight. We're going to see how bad we can piss people off. First, I'm going to bring in the big guy, Sackhead Sean.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
how the big guy? I automatically assumed it was the other one.
That's why I was throwing a curveball there.
Okay, no, you got me. You 100% got me. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It makes my job even easier.
That's my whole goal in life, apparently.
Well, this one I love because you just wind them up, send them off, and the show goes nice and smooth. We got the great BZ.
I thank you for finally acknowledging who the big guy is.
The boss man.
Like I've ever denied who the big guy was.
Yonder. No, that's just the big finger. That's not the big guy. Come on, get it straight.
My bad.
So how's everybody's week been?
It's been wonderful. I enjoyed it.
What's today? The 6th?
I have a question.
8 more shopping days, people. 8 more shopping days.
That's it?
To what?
Yeah.
To my birthday.
To what? To what?
My birthday.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, if you open that door,
a holiday.
I'm walking through it. Okay. How old?
53.
Kid.
The fact that you're pimping your own birthday on your show.
Yeah, no kidding. No
a
kidding.
Little ridiculous.
Wait,
I'm not going to lie.
Let's get in line from the youngest to the oldest.
All right, that's fine.
I guess I'm Jan Brady.
Actually,
yes, you are Jan Brady in so many ways.
Oh.
Russia, Marsha. It's the same thing.
Yeah. All right, where do we want to start off tonight? BZ, I'm going to give you the honors of picking the first topic.
Okay, great. Do you guys have a Cracker Barrel in your area?
Racist. Yes.
Okay. And the reason I said that is because I went to our local Cracker Barrel because this thing opened, I don't know, last year sometime, something like that. I don't think there'd been one there before. And it's almost brand new. It's about a year old. Never been there before. It sucks. Everything is overcooked. I mean, everything.
Really?
Eggs. One of the 4 of us went. The eggs were overcooked. The chicken was overcooked. The chicken fried steak was overcooked. It was execrable. So I don't know. I don't know if there's one in Sacramento though.
There was for a long time.
And I don't know if it's still there or not.
No,
Jersey Joe, I would think that there probably is one near you, or is mine just weird?
We have one near us, and I'm not crazy about their food.
Yeah.
I love.
See,
the
I've
country
never had a
food.
bad experience.
And I don't want to say, but it just I'm not. I don't know. Too processed for me.
This was terrible. But I will say this about admiring where you live is when I went to Fletsy, and I'd never been there before until I went to Fletsy. Well, I went there on a vacation in the 60s to Jacksonville. But holy crap, Fletsy's in Georgia, but we also went down to Florida and then up to Georgia. Actually, Fletsy's in Georgia. It's in Brunswick, Glen County. And holy crap, is there great seafood where you guys are?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about fab. It is awesome.
There's some good seafood, especially you go into St. Pete around my area. You get down there right on the bay, and holy shit! And I'm not a big seafood eater, so but the restaurants are usually good. Actually, I was out at Hibachi tonight. Me and the wife and daughter went out to Hibachi.
Hibachi?
Now you're just bragging.
Yeah, no kidding. I kind of know what a hibachi is, but what do you get at an hibachi?
It's like a Japanese food. I did the what is it? Filet mignon. They kind of like cook everything right in front of you. They're flipping shit in the air. They get the little thing.
No, they cook the food. They throw the food up in the air. There's a flat top, and everybody sits around it. And the chef brings out all the food, and he cuts it up, and he'll turn the rice into a heart and make it look like it has a heartbeat. He'll he'll stack onions so it looks like a pyramid. Put oil in and make it look fire, and it's a big show.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the place is because, all right, I could be antisocial. I'm very distrusting who I hang out with.
No way, you?
No,
and you get seated with anybody and everybody. They'll put other people at your table, would you? And it's
it's not a table though. It's almost like when you're sitting at a bar or a breakfast bar or something.
Yeah. These they have kind of like little bench seats and a U with it in the center, and it sits about 7 people.
Yeah.
I'm not sociable. I'm not a sociable creature.
I'm shocked. That surprises me.
Very shocked.
Well, I could say something to probably get me in trouble. Last time we were there, we had 2 gay guys out of St. Pete, and it was right before the election. And I'm just like, I don't care they're gay. But it's like I'm sitting there going, so worried about saying something wrong is starting an issue up. I'm just sitting there with like looking down at my plate and just eating like an asshole.
I find more and more that people care less and less.
I know, but I'm so worried about just saying something wrong and setting something off.
Yeah.
I know my luck. But other than that, damn it.
Dude, you keep pulling it down. Here's what I suggest.
Super glue.
Super glue and 2 strips of Velcro. I'm thinking one over your left eye, another one over your right eye. Put the super glue on the back part of the Velcro, just right there.
I'm close to shaving it
over
again.
there. And the Velcro's on, and then put some Velcro under the little bandana thingy, and then you'll never have to worry about it again.
Come on in. The water's fine.
Who's looking out for you? Me. Thank you.
Shave it. Shave it.
I used to have it shaven all the time. The problem is standing up to shave. My back, and just standing up that long, standing one place. I
understand that.
Your wife, okay. Your wife won't do the kindness of shaving your back.
I had my wife one time shave my head, and we were going out to the gym, and we walked out, and they were like, "Hey, you missed the big spot on the back of your head." Literally, like that big of a spot on the back of my head, she missed, and it wasn't kind of like it just real. No. There was hairs like this long still. I was like, you little bitch, you did
no. She was going for the Shogun Japanese look, the samurai look.
Then again, she's like what, 4'10", so she was like, hey.
Well, Joe, and call me crazy. You could always just take a chair and do what I do and sit outside and shave your head outside. I take my chair, I go on my porch, I have a little suction cup mirror so I can shave in the shower, and I put it on my slider and I sit in front of it and use that to shave my head.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You just think outside the box.
I know.
Stop waiting for your wife to do it for you.
Or I just don't cut it and let it grow in.
And then look like BZ.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
Did
We
you
all
guys?
have choices we make in life.
Oh, hell yeah. Wait a minute. Why am I
What?
wearing my Trump hat? I should be wearing my Christmas stocking. Well, okay, next show I'll wear my Christmas stocking. Hey,
He
did
was
you
Santa
guys
Claus last night.
did you guys send me my Christmas present yet?
I did.
Okay, good.
I
Joe?
did.
Yeah. It's on the way. It's in the mail.
Okay,
Check the mail.
excellent.
Do
Now,
we-
how bad?
Actually, there was something I was thinking about doing for you, BZ.
How
Is
bad
it
are you
bad?
guys going to feel when you get something in the mail from me? Hmm?
Well, there was actually something I was looking at.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Granger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Granger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Granger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
I
Do you want an
3D
honest
printing.
answer to that?
Yes, I do. Yes, please.
Not at all.
Okay, that's there's second. That's the second Sean that I knew. And
Not even a little bit,
Love.
actually.
But printing out a little Bigfoot and painting it for you.
you're gonna paint a Bigfoot for me.
Well, I
You're gonna have to find one.
Well,
Tying them down
he's
is
gonna-
always it's a bitch kitty to try to tie those
print
fuckers
one
down.
out. I can print one out.
You can do a 3D print.
Oh, do you ever
Which
print?
is- Where's he going?
Yeah, no kidding. Come back. It's your show.
This is one of the D&D ones I've done. It's like
Okay. I was
Roman
going to say
creature.
that's an awfully emaciated Sasquatch. I've seen better.
I don't even know what's going on right
You
now.
too, Sean. You too. Haven't you seen better Sasquatch than that? I know I have.
I see a better Sasquatch than that when I walk by a mirror, dude. Hey,
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. Look at my arms. I come
Oh,
with
yeah.
a built-in sweater. I don't even
yeah.
need to wear one in winter.
I know. Though there's only one reason that Sean is sad that I left, and that's because I don't shave his forehead, his forearms, and I don't shave his back, and I don't shave his ass down to his calves. Well, fuck, even his calves are hairy. He wanted me to shave the ends of his toes. That's where I drew the line. No shaving toes.
How? I mean, who else is gonna do it?
I know.
But you shaved his ass crack?
It won't be Demi. You know,
No,
'cause-
God, no. She's
because
just
that's
sitting
why
over there
cats
angry.
don't rule the world, because they have no thumb and forefinger.
Oh,
Well-
did you see there was a little study done that Trump supporters are more dog and cat supporters are more Harris? I'm being serious. They did this. There was a little thing off the election.
I'm not shocked by that.
No,
Well, that's because dogs have owners
has a cat.
and cats have staff.
I don't think you understand. Have you ever heard the story of how the cat came to me?
Oh God,
Okay.
please.
So I've had dogs my entire life. I'm a dog person, right? When I moved in here, I was warned that there's a street cat who hangs around. It's been around for years. Nobody's ever owned it. They trapped it a few times to bring it to get shots, but nobody's ever actually she doesn't like to get pets. She doesn't like people. She doesn't like,
Sounds like my wife.
yeah, exactly.
It's
But she's-
Calico.
She's 100% feral. And then I moved in and she just decided that it was time. I got the cat deployment system got to me and she just showed up and she started coming in the house. Now I can't get rid of her. And everyone says it's your cat. And I said, no, it's my roommate. It's not, I don't own her. The thing's a roommate. It moved itself in and it won't leave. And I'm too afraid to touch it. So it's sleeping right over there right now. She's brutal. I'll tell you, for the first couple of years I lived here, I was getting a rat on the porch every night. Every night, she would hunt the neighborhood to get a rat.
Andy was sleeping with one eye open.
Oh, yeah,
And you
'cause she'll kill me.
touch the pussy.
Because, well, you never could
What?
tell when she was going to strangle you in the middle of the night.
But yeah, she'll murder you. She still will. I still worry about it. I'll tell you right now, the reason why cats are so angry is because somebody said they're God's perfect killing machine, but they're only 8 pounds. That's why they're so angry.
Oh, yeah.
But I used to watch her hunt. There was a chicken coop in the yard next to mine, and they had a lot of rats that would went out because I'm in the city, and there's free food, so rats are gonna jump on the chicken coop. She used to sit on my porch and wait for the rat to go into the coop, and then she would jump down to the air conditioning, jump down to the grass, and she would sleek across the grass. She would get ready to pounce, and as soon as that thing came back out, she would just pin it up against the fence, kill it, and then bring it to me.
Damn.
Yeah, brutal. And then I've had them come to me gutted, and I've had them come to me with only the guts. Damn. When I tell you she is vicious, I am not joking. So now that everybody's grossed out.
On a side note, before we go to break, me and BZ were talking about it last night, and we need to take a look at it. We need to redo an SHR Media X account.
Well, yeah, I told you about the history of that.
Yeah,
but
I got kicked off X, and then I had to create my own. And then Two Against Tyranny was after the Sackhead show went away. We never had a Twitter account just for the Sackhead show.
We did.
Did we? Well, you create? No, we had a Facebook page for Twitter.
We had a Facebook page for Twitter.
We had a Facebook page for Sackheads.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't
we have an SHR Media Network or SHR News Desk.
That was the one that got suspended under the old regime. And when I tried to rebirth that not too long ago, it would not let me.
That's like mine. I still don't to this day.
Huh?
I don't know how I got that.
It's active. Well, I mean, it's the page is
no
there.
the news desk one.
Yeah,
I don't have access to. I'm talking about the regular SHR Media.
My bad.
I still look. I don't know where my original Sackhead Shot went because I had almost 10,000 followers under that. It's gone, and I never canceled it.
Well, it probably went the way of wherever I was because I got my ass canceled when I said I referenced all the illegal invaders coming to Nantucket.
Right.
I said, boy, that'd be really sad if the people there in Nantucket had to choke on illegal invaders. Gone. Never coming back. Complete suspension. You can't say violent things.
And on that note, when we come back, we're actually going to bring up some topics and talk about it.
Oh, no kidding.
Right,
what topics? Come on.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl Gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. CarryGirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
What is the Edge of Liberty? News, politics, commentary, sarcasm, alcohol, and high blood pressure. It's as American as a good revolution. So tune in every Monday and Friday at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast on the SHR Media Network and KLRN Radio. For details, visit www.shrmedia.com.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, here to make sense out of the senseless. SHR Media, conservative media done right. And on my, your left, my right is Sackhead Sean. And on my right, your left, or something like that, vice versa, is the great, the benevolent BZ. Now, I am going to bring up... Huh?
Bulbous.
All right, we're going to bring up two quick subjects, okay? And there's a tweet I saw. Let me actually just put it up on screen.
I got a question for you guys. Have you seen the thing yet? There's a video on YouTube where it says officers are suspected of stealing $45,000 worth of generators from Hurricane Helene victims. I've been trying to find the story. I've just seen the YouTube.
Haven't seen that.
I can't find the story, so I didn't bring it because I can't verify it. If true, then that's beyond despicable.
Oh yeah.
But my officers, I'm wondering if they're referring to FEMA people.
Well, and that's the thing too. You never know. I mean, you never know who it is, right? Even if it's somebody in uniform, they just automatically, that happens a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen that story anywhere. Joe, what was your story?
All right, here it is. Who do you want most primaried? Who's your first one?
Oh gosh. Well, let's see. There isn't anyone in there that really belongs in the Republican Party. Well, okay. There isn't anyone in there that's actually a conservative.
Correct.
Not a one. So primaried, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's start with 6. All of them.
Mitch McConnell would be on top of my list right now.
Well, no, see, he's not on the top of my list right now because I don't think Mitch is going to be around too much.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be around either in terms of an election or just, whether he freezes as then he falls to the floor.
And that's part of the reason I think he doesn't need to be there anymore. His mental and physical health isn't there. He should be removed. And plus, he's bring over the conservatives for decades now.
I'm going to go with Murkowski.
Murkowski? All right.
Yeah, Murkowski and Collins are both zeros. They should have a D behind their names instead of an R. That was a huge mistake.
I followed directions and I was told to pick one. And I went with Murkowski.
Mission Ready Man says Joni Ernst and John Karn.
I understand Ernst. I do understand that. I'm just saying who has to go first. You told me to pick one. And the reason I picked Lisa Murkowski is somebody has to replace her in Alaska. I mean, you can say that in all these different states, but I think Maine, you have a better chance of maybe getting a conservative to naturally force her out. Same thing in Texas. If we had to actively primary submarine and put a lot of effort in that Alaska seat with their voting and all that stuff and how it's done, you need to dump a lot of money to get rid of Murkowski. But I also think that also makes her the most protected, therefore needs to go the worst.
I think there's also one major name missing from that list.
Okay, who?
Lindsey Graham.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Lindsey is just, and then what's funny is all of them are all warmongers.
Oh yeah, all warhawks.
Lindsey is a strange egg, man.
Lindsey is I think he's one of the most skilled politicians, but not in a good way. He knows what to say, when to say it to keep his popularity up. But you also have, you could add Tom Tillis to that list.
Yeah.
Tom Tillis, who said today that he will not, he'll vote no on all national security nominees unless they promise more money to Ukraine. He said that today.
And you remember we spoke to him?
His career.
You remember we spoke to him, Sean, at Freedom Fest?
I do.
And you remember the thing that he said that no one has said since? And I wanted to go back and find that interview. He said freshman Republicans, so I'm going to assume it's true for Democrats as well. If they want to be on certain committees as freshmen or second year men and women, they have to buy those positions.
Yes.
You have to pony up money.
If you want a chair position, the amount of money you have to donate to the party is ridiculous. It's sad. You have to pay money to get those appointments.
And I had no idea that kind of thing was a thing back then. But we spoke to him at Freedom Fest in
15, 16?
16 or 17. The only time I only went 2 years, 16 and 17. Matter of fact, I think 17 was our last appearance, was it not?
I think so, yes. I think you're right.
But yeah, I saw an article and it broke down kind of like how much you had to give yearly. You know, if you wanted to be a chair of a committee, I mean, it's in the hundreds of thousands. You got to give yearly to the party to get that chair.
See, and
so
that's an
atrocity. Promulgate all the corruption that's involved in that.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I'd have to go with Joni Ernst. It's predicated on, I think she's the youngest. Therefore, she has potentially more years ahead of her. So if you need to get somebody out while you can, I would expect, start with her. She may be coming around. I'm not sure. Lindsey Graham earlier today said he would talk to Pete Hegseth. He wouldn't rule him out.
I think he knows better than cross Trump at this point.
That's what I was saying about Lindsey Graham.
That's what you were saying. He's a consummate politician.
Yep. And you look at remember, he wanted boots on the ground in Ukraine.
He probably was saying that he wasn't going to vote until, well, what do you want to back him type deal.
Yeah. I mean, he is absolutely nothing but a politician all the time, but he's a war hawk, and I hate that.
Every subject I've heard, we got to boots on the ground. Canada has Santa Claus. We need to put boots on the ground.
Well, we may be taking over Canada soon anyways. So.
Oh, man, we'll get to that in a minute. Because I do want to get one of our listeners, Claudia Cheeks, had this in Facebook. She asked us to discuss this. Please talk about the globe left's obsession with violence and murder and their celebration of the murdered healthcare CEO. And I'll take it a step further. They will gloat, have more obsession, and it doesn't have to deal with that. Look at what they did with President Trump on his assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm.
They glorified that left, right, and center.
Yeah, and it's I come from this at both sides. I understand why people's emotions are triggered, because if you look at what United Healthcare has done, it's horrible. They're a horrible entity. They should be split up. Look, this is something that could have been avoided if Congress did something with healthcare years ago, like they were supposed to. Just, I mean, seriously, approve sales across state lines alone and watch how much the healthcare industry changes. That alone, just watch it, how much it changes.
Well,
But
make it portable.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, there's a million different things you could do, but I understand why people are upset, because I saw a study that essentially equated that United Healthcare, it's something like 4 million people in the last 10 years who have died because they refused to approve procedures, yada, yada, yada. I don't know how accurate the study was. I'm just telling you what I read. I understand why people are angry at healthcare companies. I understand why people are angry at the healthcare industry. I look at what happened with COVID, right? We know why you can be angry at them and want change, and you don't need to celebrate somebody being murdered.
Yep.
And look, I get the outrage. Both things can be true. It's not okay this guy got murdered, but it is okay for you to hate United Healthcare. Both of those. And I'll tell you right now, the ultimate onus goes back to the voter, because if you voted people in who actually did something about it and didn't just take the lobbyist money and do nothing, this would have changed a long time ago.
Bingo.
Well, that's, how can you, I get the all sorts of things about RFK, but if you use and utilize RFK Jr. as a one-trick pony, the rest of his junk is just utter bullshit. But he does have, he's not a two-way guy. He's not a Fourth Amendment guy. He comes from the Kennedy family. I grok that concept. But you can use him for what you're doing now and get him to start hammering at pharma and doctors and medicine. And look at that fucker. I'm not like that. I'm 74. I think he's even older than I am. Look at the shape that this guy is in.
Well, but it goes with the old adage too, that you don't have to necessarily agree on everything to be productive. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we saw come out of this election is you saw people from the other side of the aisle be able to come out and say, I don't agree with him on everything, but I agree here with him and I'll work with him on this. Look, you have Bernie Sanders coming out and saying that he'll work with Doge, right? Somebody said, Trump's done more in the 29 days since the election than Biden did in 4 years, and he's not even in office yet. You look at who's coming together right now. Look at the things Fetterman's saying about Trump. Like, hey, that was obviously a political prosecution. He should be pardoned. Like, none of that should be even close to sitting there, blah, 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 blah. And I think that's what's pissing off media, certainly the most progressives in the party, is that you have liberals who are saying, no, we can work with this. We can do with this. You have an RFK who, like BZ said, is not a conservative.
No.
But when you're right, you're right. And he's right about what's happened with health in this country.
Use him like the hammer he can be.
Yes.
Exactly. When you look at healthcare, it's so messed up right now. My wife's company, gave her, because she started this job not even a year ago, but she's eligible for insurance now. $2,000 a month for health insurance for me and her. Then there's over a $2,000 deductible on top of that. And then the co-pays are, well, after you pay your copay of $20, we'll only pay 80% of that. Why am I paying that money?
Well, once I retired, I lost my health care. Everybody says that all the cops in California always take their health care with them. Well, CHP does, and BNE and various state law enforcement agencies do. But for a time, I had to be on COBRA when I left, until we figured some things out. That's expensive as hell. So RFK is a blunt instrument, and he should be used just as that. Now, you mentioned look at all the stuff that Trump has done. I'm looking at a story from ABC. Trump isn't president yet, but and you tell me the thrust of this article, because here's the headline: Trump isn't president yet, but that hasn't stopped him from starting to act like he is. He's not going to follow rules that he thinks are stupid rules, said a former senior White House official in Trump's first term. Now, this guy, Peter Nichols, he does make these admissions up front. Foreign leaders have lined up to speak with him. He's rattled Mexico and Canada with threats of steep tariffs and warned there would be hell to pay for militants in Gaza unless they release the hostages by the time he's sworn in. And that won't happen for another 45 days. But Donald Trump, the president in waiting, isn't shying away from acting like the president in reality. Unmentioned in this, burying the lead because there is no leader right now. Biden is a vegetable and Harris is gone.
She's gone.
Yeah. She's worried about, what I don't know.
Her divorce.
Was Dougie, the guy, my guess is that Dougie was the guy with the straying penis. But hey, she has her own worries right now. No one is leading, and nature abhors a vacuum. And
did you guys see their jobs report put out today?
Trump will fill it. No, tell me about it. I missed that.
New jobs added in November, 227,000. It's being reported. Ooh. How long before that gets corrected?
Oh yeah, no, it'll come out in January that the numbers, I'm going to guess, were maybe 160. No, negative 160,000. No, 160,000.
Yeah. But I mean, how many times have we seen that amongst this?
It's been corrected so many times. And look, I mean, the media does this on purpose, and they don't question, they don't push back. They take the jobs report as it is, and they haven't learned. The same thing with crime, right? Remember when they were just before the election, oh, crime's down, crime's down, crime's down. And then the FBI amended the crime report and it was actually up.
Yep.
This is just what they do.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a retraction on page 423, two-sentence paragraph.
Why do we accept that? Look, if you're coming out in a month and you're revising the numbers, then why don't you just wait 2 months to tell us what the job report was for November and have it be accurate? Why are we jumping out now? It makes no sense. And it really does go to the whole bait and switch that they like to do in politics, the song and dance, yada, yada, yada. We're not going to give you the real number because we don't like the real number. So we're going to give you the number that we can make up right now and then give you the real number later when it's not as politically important.
Bingo.
Look, Biden, what was the J.L. Willett study today? It came out and said Biden is officially the worst president in modern history. It was a poll amongst the youth. I think it was 18 to 30. Joe Biden in a poll, 18 to 30s. I think it was J.L. Willett that did the study or did the poll, said that he was the worst president in modern history.
Okay, yeah, I saw that out there. But I thought he was George Washington of presidents.
But I said this on my show today. At some point, the Democrats need to realize that the bullshit that they like to pull with numbers, with crime stats, with all their crap isn't going to work anymore. No. The internet is now, and people have access now to real data, and you're not going to be able to bullshit your way through it anymore.
Well, that's one of the things I tweeted back to Harcum Extreme Jeffries. He's going on to Extreme MAGA and going on one of his tangents. And I put, this gaslighting the same line over and over again is not working. Get something new. If you're going to lie to us, at least come to us with a new goddamn lie. And
you need to drop the Extreme MAGA thing because that's what pisses people off. Look, they don't like to be called extreme. Popular vote and the Electoral College, right? We got them both. People don't think these policies are extreme. You look at immigration, over 60% of the country is in favor of mass deportation. It's not extreme anymore. That's not an extreme stance. When 60% of the country agrees on something, it's not extreme. I think
we're paying $160 billion a year just for illegal immigration.
For the legal, no, but remember, that's only the ones who are in the system.
Right.
That doesn't count the ones who aren't in the system.
What it's going to cost to deport their ass, which is going to be a one-time goddamn fee out the door, where this is every month we're paying that.
And once again, somebody needs to come out with a study telling each individual taxpayer how much that burden is in your tax bill.
And here's a bill. Pay it.
Yeah.
Like you
Watch
said.
how quickly.
when it's coming out of your paycheck, a little bit here, a little bit there, they're not seeing that much. You give them a goddamn $20,000 bill. This is your bill for illegal immigration for the year or whatever it would be.
You watch how quickly it changes.
Yeah. I don't want them. Well, look at New York. Look at Martha's Vineyard. We love him. Like great illegal
until they showed up.
Oh, wait a minute. Shit.
Yeah.
But
you see that's Democrat 101.
Here's an article.
Sorry, BZ, but did you see about the mayor of New York, Adams?
Yeah, saying he might be a Republican now.
Yeah.
Does anybody really believe it?
Well, he used to be Republican.
Yeah, he was a New York Republican, and a New York City Republican is like Mitt Romney saying he's a Republican.
Right.
Mitt Romney is a Massachusetts Republican.
But still, that's got to be walls for the Democrats.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you right now. I think you're going to see that more and more. I think you're going to see more and more people jump ship because the Democrats left him.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure. I remain unconvinced, and here's one reason. I don't think they get it. They, in terms of Democrats and leftists, I don't think it's quite. They got their asses handed to them, and they have no sense of introspection, self-examination, none of that. Outgoing DNC chair says identity politics should remain the central message after the landslide loss. So the chair, Jamie Harrison, believes identity politics should remain the Democrat Party's core messaging theme moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't get it. And all I can say is, thank God they don't get it. Let them continue on that vein.
Oh,
Please, God,
I agree. But
please.
I'm just saying a year from January 20th, when we're a year out from the midterms, we'll see how many people don't start jumping ship. Because I'll tell you right now, that what they say publicly is different. It's what they're saying in private. How many people now were pissed off about how Kamala was dealt with. They were pissed off that she was put up there. There are a lot of people that more and more feel like the Democrats are walking away from their own party, and we'll see. I think you're going to see more walk away.
I would like to think so.
I would too.
We'll wait and see. This is interesting. No one wanted to listen to James Carville. So the old fuck he's actually entertaining, but he's entertaining primarily when he skewers the hell out of leftists and Democrats. For people who don't know who James Carville is, he was Clinton's primary advisor in the 90s. So I just read this. James Carville called Biden the most tragic figure in American politics in my lifetime.
He also guaranteed a Kamala.
The truth.
He guaranteed a Kamala win when they begged him to. Because if you look at what he said the rest of the time, he was eviscerating their policy all along. Yeah. Especially the last 3 months. He was just, how many times did you hear him say, "What the fuck are we doing? You got to get away from this. This is killing us," right? He'd get the, meh. But he was right. And I said that on my show numerous times. I'm like, their biggest problem is they're not listening to Carville. I'm glad they're not listening to Carville, but they're not listening to Carville.
All right, we're going to go to break. I got a question for you guys because I need to look something up. There's a kid out of Florida, the anti-gun mouth little prick.
Oh yeah. He's running for DNC chair. David Hogg.
David Hogg, that's it.
Yeah. I like to call him Sucka.
What?
Sucka.
Oh, I thought you said Sacco. I was like, what the hell did Sacco do to you?
Sucka.
All right,
I'm going to get you Sucka, or you suck, Sucka. What you looking at, Sucka? Sucka Hogg. That's what I call
him. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl Gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. CarryGirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
What is the Edge of Liberty? News, politics, commentary, sarcasm, alcohol, and high blood pressure. It's as American as a good revolution. So tune in every Monday and Friday at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast on the SHR Media Network and KLRN Radio. For details, visit www.shrmedia.com.
I'm begging you, please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe. The desperation. Welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the essentials right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. And we got the great BZ and Zackhead Sean, who seems to be a
Good evening.
Good evening.
What are you, Dracula now?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I saw that. They sued the throat.
All right. So as we were discussing, David Hogg, what is DNC chair or some shit like that? I want to see that. I want to see him get it because
I would love it.
And it would be the end of the DNC.
I'll tell you, you want to talk about, and David Hogg is one of the people that pissed me off the most because he's totally fake, in my opinion. All he's doing is trying to become famous and make money off of a tragedy. He was a student in Parkland during the Parkland shootings a couple of years ago. And because of that, he got into Harvard University. Harvard. He went to Harvard. From what I've understood, was not a great student in Parkland, but got into Harvard because of the tragedy. He became this anti-gun advocate, yada, yada, yada. But he, much like a lot of these other young influencers, are morons. He's a moron. If you watch some of the stuff that he tweets and you watch there's a reason he's not doing interviews. You never see him do interviews. Right?
No, he's not facile on his feet.
He's a moron. I mean, for lack of a better term.
You could give a 2-hour interview and he still wouldn't be able to come up with something smart to say.
Yeah. Everything he says is just, it's given to him, or he's repackaging other people's ideas. He's just a moron. So yeah, I'm with you. I want to see him. I want to see that debate.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? The outgoing DNC guy says, hey, we have to double down on this crap. I spoke to Andrew Pollock. Let's see, Parkland was Valentine's Day in 2018. Yes. Andrew Pollock was the dad of Meadow Pollock, who was killed. She was his 18-year-old daughter in Parkland. And essentially what happened is they knew this guy, Nicholas Cruz, had written all these messages. The Broward County Sheriff under former Sheriff Scott Israel, if anybody remembers that, who was a massive leftist, made sure that they protected him and didn't place him under arrest under the onus of, these arrests would follow him all through the rest of his life. And how did we get Parkland? David Hogg is a leftist. How you got Parkland is leftist ideas and philosophies. So if David Hogg is going to break out of leftism and massively, suddenly, miraculously, have some great ideas for the DNC, he isn't. He's a victim of that, though he's a survivor. And everything is all about victimology because of the philosophy of leftists, which put people right there at the very beginning at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School back in 2018. Go ahead.
That pretty much sums up everything on that. It just, I just want to.
Well, 17 people were killed.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Cruz was 19. They knew everything.
I hate to say, what would happen if those cops would have went in when they first got there?
Well, you had the one school deputy who didn't engage.
Yeah. I get an argument with a lot of people over this. I'm sorry. Our job in that capacity, emergency services, is to put our lives on the line.
Same thing with Uvalde.
I did it as an EMT and a firefighter. I know people don't think it's that dangerous. It's a lot more dangerous than you think. And I put my patient life first. And if I got hurt doing it, that's part of the job.
Well, and it's I think it's the natural human condition when somebody's in harm's way that you should want to help, and most people do. I think in those situations, look, a lot of people don't know how they're going to react until they're in those situations, and all the training experience. You're gutless. You're gutless.
Yeah.
And that's
it's not a knock on law enforcement.
No. I'm telling you, but the same thing with Uvalde, right?
Well, I don't want some of these idiots leftists that listen and look at that, you're attacking police officers.
No. I don't think any cop that would be listening to this would disagree with us.
Oh God, no.
Uvalde, you look at Uvalde, right? It was the same thing. You had all those cops lined up with guns, and because one member of the brass was afraid to make a decision, it held everybody at bay. I still don't know how any of those cops can look at themselves in the mirror sitting in that hallway and not looking at the boss and saying, you know what, fuck you, we're going.
Yeah, I'll take the write up. I'll do it.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but hindsight being 2020, nobody would have said shit to them. Because the story would have been, hey, we were told not to go and we went anyhow because we could still hear him actively shooting.
Yep.
What are you going to do to us?
Yep.
Nothing.
Let's go to the media. Let's go to the media. Tell you how you're going to discipline us for us saving people.
Yep. Nothing would have happened.
Yep.
Let's go back to Nicholas Cruz for a second. Do you guys remember the American media maggot history about this? He was described as a Hispanic guy initially by the American media maggots. Then they magically converted him to a white Hispanic. Mm-hmm. And then he was a white guy because the meme didn't fit. Then we later learned that he was Hispanic. And then he had a Hispanic pride issue. He didn't like to speak Spanish. But the American media maggots will frame anything that they can. Remember Trayvon Martin. Remember George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman was a white Hispanic.
Well, first he was just
Cruz was a white Hispanic. What the hell?
When it first came out, they're George Zimmerman, a white man. Oh, wait a minute, he's not white. Oh, white Hispanic.
Well, and I still say Trayvon Martin is what really changed this country. How that was manipulated, how the news manipulated that, how politicians manipulated that. Barack Obama saying Trayvon Martin could have been my son.
Yep.
All of those things. That was step number one for the Democrats and the mainstream media undoing of the fabric of this nation.
I'd back it up a little
That
bit.
led to 2015. That led to the beer summit. 2015 and Ferguson was, thank you, Barack Hussein Obama, divisive guy right there.
Yep.
That was the
Right
beginning.
there is the
Absolutely
first
correct, Sackhead Sean.
Obama
was
was,
it.
the first step.
Yeah, and then you had NBC
Then they're
News
going to
editing.
Trayvon.
Yeah, NBC News in the Trayvon Martin case, editing the 911 call to make it so you did not hear a lot of what Zimmerman said.
But if we didn't have Obama in office, would have went it that route.
Now, anybody remember going back to?
Well, I don't think Mitt Romney would. I don't think John McCain would have called Trayvon Martin could have been my son.
No,
Right. And that's what I'm meaning. I don't think we'd be. And it, if it's butts for candies, I'm nuts.
Anybody remember Associated Press going back to Nicholas Cruz, and they said back in 2018 he was confirmed to be a member of a white nationalist group until it was discovered that's a load of shit too.
Complete load.
That was the kid with the American Indian in Washington D.C., right?
No,
who am I thinking?
No, Nicholas Cruz was the shooter in Parkland.
Parkland.
All right, I'm thinking who was the
the ones who sued CNN.
MSNBC and CNN all settled.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was the one with the Native American guy,
right?
The kid smiling.
Oh well, Fox got sued. Look at that. Fox got sued. Fox got sued. Yeah. Have you ever looked into MSNBC and CNN? They get sued left, right, and center, and they settled to keep it
Nick
quiet.
Sandman.
Thank you.
Yes, bingo.
Now you understand why I was.
No, I knew what you were going for. I just couldn't get it in my head.
Kind of. But yeah, it's. I get tired of that shit too. I'm not a Fox fan. I'm not. They're all corporations. Their main job is to bring in money for their stockholders. Like it, love it. That's what their job is. They're going to put out headlines. They're going to try to jump everything. I'm not justifying it. But this is what they do. CNN does it. MSNBC, Newsmax. They all are corporations. So I take them with a grain of salt. But I get tired of the left constantly because I've gotten it from my in-laws of, well, you just watch Fox News. No, I don't.
No, I watch Newsmax.
I don't watch any of them. I don't have cable.
And I watch others, and I read. I read all over the place.
Yep.
I'm sitting there on the couch while my wife's watching something, and I'm going through other shit. I'm going through my phone, looking through what's going on. I'm going through Twitter. I'm going through all the different articles. But I get tired of it's just Fox News. But you remember a time back in 2016 when Trump was going after CNN? You cannot accuse the media of being anything.
I know. But this is all their thing, right? It's
100%
rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, I'm going to bring up. You guys got it like maybe another half hour in you?
Shorty.
Yeah, sure.
All right, like I said, when you guys want, we'll go. I'm going to pull up from, I think it's NBC. I just want to make
This
sure.
is a good reminder for everybody watching to like and subscribe wherever you might be watching from. Please like and subscribe, share the show. It helps us with the algorithm.
It beats the algorithm monster. What's your first comment on that? I'll take it. Is that the 51 that said Hunter's laptop was Russian collusion?
Oh, that had to be. And still to this day, they refuse to acknowledge they were wrong.
One of them just said, one of them was out saying not too long ago that it was almost un-American that Trump was enforcing people to get their background check done through the FBI. Obama it was the female. I can't remember. No. There was the female, one of the 51.
Obama didn't have his people background checked by FBI.
No. But what I'm saying, one of the 51 from the Hunter laptop came out recently after we realized what bags of shit they were and said it would be un-American for that to happen.
I don't think they know what it is to be an American. No,
Nearly 100 former national security officials. Here's the thing, and I love when they throw this out, national security officials. They don't qualify what that means.
it's the janitor in the back room.
100%. Right?
I'm going to take that back because that's an insult to the janitors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's
you.
what I mean. Like, you're talking about an intern who worked there once 3 years ago for a summer.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what they do. Give me their names.
Yeah.
I want to see all the names and I said this today on my show. I don't want anonymous sources. I don't want a source close to the matter, blah, 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 blah. No. If it's nearly 100, list 100 names of who said it. Let's see, call them out, put their names to it.
See,
right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said this before about Tulsi. She had a background check with the military. They do top secret clearances. I think it's every 2 years. I think every 2 years they get their top secret clearance redone. I could be wrong on that one. She had her clearance when she was a congresswoman out of Hawaii. She was also, again, probably revetted by the Trump administration individually. This whole preface goes back to the Hillary Clinton lie that she was a Russian asset. That's what this whole premise is.
If she were a security risk, she would have been removed before she retired. Period. End of statement. It's nothing more complicated than that.
Yep. I said on your show last night, if she was this person, then that shows just how inept the Democrat Party is, because she was a Democrat congresswoman and they didn't know she was this asset.
She was going to be the next leader of the DNC.
Yeah.
And she was placed on the secret list when she flew. She was on the no-fly list. When she got that eliminated and began to fly, she was followed by air marshals all over the place. She was run through screening every time she went to an airport, coming, going, every time. And the reason they don't want to have her in there is because they don't want to have that information revealed. So I go back. This isn't about retribution or revenge, although I love the R words. I absolutely love those. But it's about justice. It's also to make sure if she had to go through that crap, no one else gets tarnished like she did under specious allegations, which never went criminal, which never went against her, which never caused her to physically lose any security clearances whatsoever. It was all bullshit.
They were mad because she would talk to the RT network, and they were mad because Hillary said something once. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
But when you're talking about that no-fly list, Jesus Christ. My brother is from my mom's previous marriage, so we have different last names before anybody tries to hit me with that. No, I'm not going to give out his name. But he's on the no-fly list. And he's never done anything in his life.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I don't even think he's flown before. But because his name is such a common name, and it's used by illegals a lot, he's on the no-fly list. Now, how is that right? An American citizen who has done nothing wrong has been convicted and found guilty of doing what? And that's what she was. She was found guilty without.
And they didn't confuse her with another Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii who used to be a congresswoman.
No,
right? This was specific. This was political. 100% this was political. Because like BZ said, if she was truly a threat, they would have gotten rid of her before she could retire.
Yep. And when you were talking about the anonymous, I'm tired of it too. And I talked about it on BZ's show last night. And one of the reasons why I'm backing, Hesgarth, how many Fox employees, how many of his co-workers came out openly with their name and said, no, he did not do none of that. Don't listen to these anonymous. And what ends up, a lot of those anonymous were employees that were fired from Fox and didn't like them.
You know how bad it is? CNN and MSNBC are both trying to use him drinking on the air on St. Patrick's Day when they were doing a remote at a bar as an issue. That is
Did
how.
I not say that last night, BZ.
Such incredible crap.
I didn't know it was.
I'll tell you right now.
It was. I knew it was a show.
I'll tell you right now. That means that Kamala was disqualified because she was drinking at a bar just before the election. Hillary, she drank at a bar several times. Obama drank at a bar. Does that mean they're all disqualified? Because they had a couple of beers at a bar? Get the fuck out of here.
Nancy
This is the shit that's like when I tell you that they will hone in on the stupidest shit because they have nothing real. This is my point.
Exactly. When you don't have the facts, like any good attorney, and I've been grilled. I was grilled for a week straight during a homicide case. 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 hours per day, 5 days. When they've got nothing, it's all personal. It becomes a personal attack because they don't have the facts. And that's why that occurs. They don't have the facts. These are upsetters. These are, God, I can't think of the word. Groundbreakers. No, the people that Trump is appointing, they're there to turn things upside down. They are disruptors. And that's the exact point. Why wouldn't you want Doge? Why wouldn't you want people to be healthy? Why wouldn't you want a reduction in government? Why wouldn't you want a reduction in regulations or taxes? The people are all for that, but that's not what the assholes and the deep state, which is the deep state, I spoke about that last night. It's nothing more than the people who are entrenched, like the rest of the politicians, who stand to lose control, power, which then yields money. It's nothing. It's an age-old equation continuing still.
I said on my show today, the next 2 years are going to be really uncomfortable for some people in this country, and that's okay.
I can't wait.
That's okay. It's okay for us to be uncomfortable. The part of the problem we have as a nation is we've become too comfortable. We were looking for things to normalize. We were looking for things to fuck up. Bureaucrats were looking for new and exciting ways to spend our money. All of those things need to end. And it's okay that we're uncomfortable. It's okay that the country changes. It is back to what we used to be or closer to our roots. It's okay if the Department of Education goes away. Schools are not going to collapse. As a matter of fact, they've never been, once Department of Education took over the educational aspect of school versus it was just a monitoring agency up until 1979, I think.
Carter.
Yeah, under Carter. Once they took over the actual education, it went down dramatically and it's never recovered. The Department of Education is garbage and needs to go, along with other agencies.
But you have to go back to the original equation, which is, and I've said this any number of times, why did it take Trump to say that the tent is big and wide and open and I want you in there? I don't care what color you are. I don't care the paint job. I don't care about any of that crap. Why did it take Trump, who is not a politician, everyone would agree, to say that? So why is it Trump now to say that, maybe it's past time that we start looking at budgets and programs and taxes and wastage? Why did it take a non-politician to do that? Go back to the hallowed three: power, control, and money.
Why the hell were we spending $500,000 on shoving cocaine into quail to see if they get sexually active?
Right. The answer is yes. Except none of them could get an erection.
Why are we paying all that money to find out why dykes are fat?
Right.
And why are they on bikes?
Because that's how you hold water back next to a river. You need a fat dike built on the side of a river to hold water back. What's wrong with you?
Come on.
I'm going by what the study actually said, and that's how it was labeled.
But it goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. It's these people who don't want to give up power that they should not have. The administrative state bureaucracies, right? They should not have power. They have power. By the way, Have you noticed we had the Chevron ruling and all of these agencies still maintain all of this power?
Thug's law.
Yeah.
It's Thug's law.
It needs to be undone. Anybody who is against making our government more streamlined, more responsible, more accountable, and in line with the Constitution and the American people, if you stand against that, you stand against America.
It's Thug's law.
Plain and
Thug's
simple.
law is this. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine unless you're powerful and strong enough to stop me. I speak leftist, so I'll translate. What that translates to is we'll do anything we want to, including that council in Wisconsin who said that we're not going to abide by the Supreme Court. We'll do anything that we want to. And they will. Any laws can be broken. Any laws will be broken unless and until someone is strong enough to stand up and sue, physically stop, or block these people from doing this stuff. So unless someone objects, they're going to do whatever the hell they want.
Yep, the first year is going to be ugly under Trump, and not for what Trump's doing, but for the Democrats going to do.
Oh, the opposition is going to be unending. It will be a repeat of 2016, just a set of different circumstances, with the exception that there are even, I believe, more people pro-Trump now than there were remotely at 2016. So if there's somebody that needs to use the power of the bully pulpit right now, because essentially he's a lame duck, anything and everything should go. It should all.
Well, and he has. Yep, I know he's paused.
That. Well, I worry about is, and I'm almost contradicting myself here too. I know I'm going to. It's either going to be no protests because they are very, very, very peaceful protests because they got to make a point that about January 6th, or the violence is just going to be off the scale.
I think you'll see January 20th up until February 1st, the violence is going to be off the scale. I think there's going to be a whole bunch of rioting and That I think that's just going to happen. It's typical of the left. It's what they do. They wet their pants and then they protest about it. I think that you're going to see every opposition in the world's coming out against Trump's choices, which you're already starting to see. You're going to see more ridiculous allegations against all of these people. And then what you're going to get is lapdog media and Democrats having the voice on those lapdog media outlets, talking about how everything they're doing is wrong and how it's horrible because they're already in midterm mode. They need to try to save the midterm because right now, as long as conservatives get their head out of their ass and do it the right way, they have the House and the Senate for 2 years. There's a lot that can be done. If they do not do that, as I've said before, they are not going to survive the next midterms. So you have 2 years. And then if you can't hold on to it, not only do you say goodbye at the midterms, but now you're looking at the next presidential election being at risk. Yeah. Something, they need to be harsh. They need to be fast. Who cares what the Democrats say? You look at what the American people say. And I guarantee you, if all of these changes come to fruition, if they do everything they say they're wanting to do, the American people will approve because that's why they voted for him.
Exactly.
Did we lose the bulbous one?
I think so. I don't know what happened. All right, we're going to change up. I don't think we touched about this beginning of the show. I think we were talking about it before we went on air. Daniel Penny.
Yes.
For those that don't know, manslaughter charges have been dismissed. I think this court is playing games.
Well, they dropped one charge, kept another. And
from what I read, it was if they found him not guilty of the manslaughter, they can then go to a lesser charge. But now the judge has dismissed the manslaughter charges
and dropped it down to the lesser one and told the jury, now does it meet the standard? Go and deliberate this. Again, it's going to get thrown out. Even if he gets found guilty, it's going to get thrown out on appeal.
Yeah.
And once again, you'll never hear that story. That story won't make the headline that it gets thrown out in appeal, but you'll hear the conviction story. Look, I said this on my show today. There's a reason why it took them 7-8 days to arrest him and decide to prosecute him. after a whole bunch of protests showed up at the DA's office, they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do anything because all witness accounts, the video evidence, this guy was still had a pulse when EMS got there.
Yep.
Penny stepped in to a guy that was screaming, someone's going to die on this train, and acting erratically. People were visibly shaken and in fear. He activated himself with his military training, being a normal human being who said, I have the means to stop this and I'm going to. He activated a rear naked choke, brought the guy to the ground. As soon as the guy went to the ground, he put him in the recovery position, which is what you're taught to do. And they maintained a level of care until EMS personnel showed up. He did nothing illegal. Nothing illegal. He felt that he and others on that train were a threat, or were at risk, rather. They felt that the suspect was a threat. He was making statements. He was erratic. He was making violent statements, violent actions with his hands. And this United States Marine was a hero.
Yeah.
Was a hero.
It's disgusting what they're doing to him.
100%. And I'll tell you right now, when all of a sudden people are getting the bag beaten out of them and you're seeing people get the wheels beaten off of them in public, and people are like, why isn't anyone doing anything? Look at Daniel Penny.
Yep.
Why would anyone subject themselves? And I know there's always going to be an element of people that do because they don't think about that. They just want to do the right thing in the moment. God bless them. But a lot of people aren't going to anymore.
Look at the CEO they were just murdered, and all right, figuratively, broad daylight in front of people. Nobody stepped in. Nobody did anything.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
You didn't see anyone. You didn't see anyone even rush to his aid.
No, everybody just walked away. Oops, not my problem. I don't want to get involved in this shit.
100%.
100%.
And this is a problem with society. When you see women on social media say, where have all the good men gone? What happened to chivalry? Blah, 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 blah. This is the shit that happened. This is why all the good men are quote unquote gone. They're not gone. They're just not getting involved anymore. They're worrying about themselves.
Feminism also killed that shit too.
Well, that's a totally different argument.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way. I'm just saying it's totally different argument.
I understand it is, but it just.
But this is part of that. This is people doing the right thing, being punished for doing the right thing. It should never be accepted. And to see a DA's office who was prosecuting nobody for anything, releasing murderers, releasing violent offenders, all of this shit where they weren't prosecuting anybody, decided to take up this prosecution because they were bullied into it, is absolutely ridiculous. This is the epitome of you show me the man and I'll find the crime to put on him. And that's what happened here.
All right. I have one last article and then we're going to wrap it up. AOC launches 2028 campaign, seeks to lead Democrats on House Oversight Committee.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, was that the Babylon Bee?
No. That is an article on Breitbart.
Are you serious?
Right, yes.
Are you serious? Oh, God. I'll tell you, shit does float.
On Friday,
it goes right to the
AOC
top.
launched her candidacy to become the Oversight Committee's ranking member, writing a letter to fellow House Democrats asking for her support. I write to you today to seek the support to serve as ranking member of Committee on Oversight and Accountability in the 119th Congress.
I didn't think that was real.
No, it's.
That's amazing. Good. Go for it. This, I'll tell you, they're really showing the best of the brightest right now.
Mary Lewis says hi from Denver.
Hello in Denver. The best and the brightest right now. They're nothing but the Democrats' best. This is fantastic. Bartender Barbie. Was he in charge of the House Oversight Committee? Okay. Sure.
Could you
she had a credit rating of 382 when she got into Congress. She's suddenly a millionaire. She don't know shit about shit. She's still dumb as stones. Right? It's amazing.
She wants to be the nominee for the Democrats in 2028.
I know. Let it happen. Please let it happen.
Oh, my God.
Oh, gosh. I thought you were kidding, man.
No.
Oh, that was a true reaction. I did not. Yeah, let bartender Barbie be the head of the House Oversight Committee. Go for it. She's never done anything. People don't realize that. I mean, she barely graduated BU and was a bartender. By the way, how do you graduate Boston University and only be a bartender? Something tells you that right there, right? Something tells I like to call that a clue. When you can't take a degree from BU is one of the most prominent schools in the country. BU is a major name in business. BU is a major name in law. BU is a major name. If you can't take that and walk into a company and get a job, and I'm not belittling bartenders, but she wasn't like somebody who her whole life was like a flair bartender or a professional bartender. She just ended up bartending because she couldn't get a job after college.
Yeah.
And that's all she had.
Mission ready. That's Earl, right?
Yes.
All right. He said she has no legislation passed or even voted on since she's been in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's just, I mean, I will tell you, do you know what's a good way to put it? You ever like lose a sock and you hold on to the other one and you just leave it in the drawer because you might eventually find that other sock, but it's just useless and takes up space? And it really has no actual future because it now has no application in your day-to-day life. It bears no purpose anymore, but you leave it in the drawer. It takes up space and you keep going, I'll get rid of it next time. And you never get rid of it. That's her whole career.
Yeah.
And now that the squad is falling apart, I'll tell you right now, she's trying to make herself, if you've seen her speak recently, she went from being the I'm going to tell you what congresswoman for the first couple of years to now she's trying to be intelligent and act intelligent, and she's trying to give off these like big speeches, and it's just embarrassing.
Tell me,
embarrassing. You want to know who she is? You want to know who she is? Watch her engagement with Tom Homan when they were talking about the border, and when she said, you know, Mr. Homan, legal asylees are not and he goes, no. If you want to seek asylum, you go through the border. Other than that, you come in the country, you're an illegal. And she didn't know what to say because he cited the code and everything. But that's her. Like, that's just who she is. She tries to throw out these little sound bites to seem super intelligent, and she's not. No. And as much, she's one of the biggest leaders of, you know, white people suck, right? She's on that whole bandwagon, and her boyfriend's a ginger. It's the funniest thing. They are everything with the left is fabricated. She tells you, Sandy tells you, I grew up poor. She grew up in a middle-class family. And I don't mean like a lower middle-class family. She grew up with money. Everything about her is BS.
Oh, we do have breaking news on X. Kim
Yes.
Kardashian has broken her foot and needs crutches.
Who gives a shit?
Someone actually put breaking. I'm like,
no, she did. She broke her leg.
Yeah,
that's breaking. That's what's breaking.
That's.
I don't care about any of those people. You know,
Sarah Silverman finally came out. I don't know if you saw that. She's like, I'm not talking politics anymore. People do not give a shit about what celebrities have to say anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, one of them's getting it through their head. Listen, if you want to come out and say, yes, I'm backing this person, I'm backing them for this reason, you have a right to do that. But when they try lecturing us and degrading us and demeaning us on trying to force us into voting for theirs, fuck you.
Right.
That's what I don't like. Everybody has the right to come out. If you want to say you're voting for XYZ for XYZ reason, go right the fuck ahead.
Stop saying you're a regular person when you're a multimillionaire.
Yes.
When you work 3 weeks out of the year and you're a multimillionaire and you have people who go to the store for you, and because I'm too famous and people might recognize me and I don't go out. I don't want to hear you talk about what it's like to be a middle class person or a normal person. You don't know. You're detached.
Well, that's like Matt Locke today. He put up, I find it rich that politicians who are worth millions tell you that the rich should pay their fair share. I'm like,
right.
It's funny, the people, but it's never them. They always exempt themselves from all this shit.
Of course they do.
You got these millionaires out there bitching. Oh, the millionaires and these. You're one of them, you idiot.
Look at, and I don't like him, and I haven't liked him for a long time, but Dan, whatchamacallit from Texas, the
Crenshaw?
former SEAL with Crenshaw. Yeah, he's talking about, oh, we haven't had a raise in 8 years, and we only make $200,000 a year, and fine, I guess just screw us, right? But yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, Dan, yeah, screw you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be trading in the stock market. You shouldn't be allowed to do any of that stuff. Because I know even
Obamacare, they're exempt from the boost shots and all that. They're exempt from insider trading. How many you got a slush fund to pay hush money, but you go after Donald J. Trump for paying someone off just to shut the situation up.
I hope upon hope that they open up all those files.
Oh, you know what? That's our money. We should know exactly who it's being spent.
I agree. If I'm paying for it,
secret. No.
Yeah. I forget what country does it, but there is a country that will break down every tax dollar you spend and where it goes.
Sure.
I'm like, no, we in the age of technology, I should be just like when I log into my Social Security account, I should be able to log into a website and see every dollar that came out of my tax money and where it went.
What is it? They're still trying to release those documents, the investigation into Matt Gaetz. Said it before. I'm not a fan of Matt Gaetz, but if you're going to release that, start releasing everything. Just don't.
Everybody.
Yep.
Everybody.
Release that slush fund money.
Let's not pick and choose. Let's open it up. And look, if that means we lose faith in certain conservatives, okay, shit happens.
I want to know if there's a conservative out there that's a piece of shit. I want to know so I know not to support them.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not going to blindly follow people just because they got an R or a D. No, fuck that.
And you know what's funny is unnamed sources pretty much undid Matt Gaetz, right? It's this, allegations, blah, 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 blah. Nothing's been public about it. Tara Reid was public about what Joe Biden did to her when he was a senator and she worked in his office and was never taken seriously.
Yep.
It's unbelievable how they will pick and choose. And they tried to do it again with the girl from The Guardian who said that she used to date Epstein and that, Trump groped her back in the 80s or 90s, whenever it was. And I think, by the way, The Guardian's shutting down, but I think that's happening. But
good.
Nobody bid on it. Nobody that mattered bid on it. In a few places, CNN, I think, and MSNBC tried to tease it just to see what the crowd reaction would be. And everyone was like, we're not even buying this shit. This is dumb.
It's tiresome. It's the same playbook every time.
Yep.
That's why
every
I'm
single
not paying
time
attention with these sexual assaults. And it's sad because, yes, does sexual assault happen? Yes.
It diminishes all the real ones.
There's so many fake ones that come out. You can almost guarantee Republicans get named to a top position. 30 years ago, he sexually assaulted some woman.
Yep.
That
it's always he did this to me in a place that I can't remember, but I was with my best friend who also happens to be a reporter and or lawyer who reminded me of this recently, and now we're talking about it.
Yeah,
I trauma blocked it for 30 years. And this is the stuff. Look at E. Jean Carroll, right?
Wow.
Who, by the way, has made that allegation against other men.
Yeah, and the allegation she made matches what
the same
SVU,
story,
but an SVU episode it matches perfectly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and we saw it. I mean, we saw it with Kavanaugh.
Don't even add up. Kavanaugh. Yeah, sorry.
Yep. Which kills me because make fun of him all you want for being a nerd. Kavanaugh used to document every day of his life in a notebook, and he was able to open up to where he was on that page and tell people on the day that she said it happened.
Yep.
It's out of control.
Just jumped in with. You know, it's and
Yeah.
that's what with Hesgath and whatever. Go ahead, crack.
Hexeth.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. It's embarrassing for both of us.
And you could be embarrassed for me. But I was saying he's getting the Kavanaugh treatment.
Yep. 100%. And look, other than the fact that he's young and not a general who's trying to get a job with a defense contractor when he retires from the U.S. military, they have nothing on him.
No.
He did 20 years in the service.
Well, they started with he's a Nazi. Look at his tattoos, and oh, wait a minute, that's a Jewish cross, and oh, that's what God's will or whatever. It's Latin. Oh, you fucking idiots!
It's horrible. But this is what they're going to do with everybody from until
he sexually assaulted this woman. Oh, wait a minute, she was sober, he was drunk. The cops at one point were looking at possibly charging her with some crimes.
Even her husband said he didn't believe the story.
Yeah. He's a drinker. Look at this one episode. And that's the funny thing. And you talked about it. I talked about it last night. I didn't know it was at St. Patty's. I knew it was a special episode and they were drinking like bourbon or some shit. Oh, he's an alcoholic. Look at that. He's drinking on the show. And that's what the fucking show's about, you moron.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, if drinking on the air gets you canceled, I'm porked. I'm canceled. That's it. I'm canceled. You look at how many episodes of Sackheads After Dark or Sackheads After Against Tyranny, my show, my appearances on other people's shows that I've been drinking on.
Yeah.
I think I've done more shows drinking than I've done not drinking, to be honest with you.
How many of those reporters that are reporting on this need to have their career ended? Because from what I hear, most all of them are fucking luscious.
Yeah.
Nancy
100%.
Pelosi, she's pickled.
Oh, gosh. Look at Kamala. You cannot tell me that last video that she released, that she wasn't hammered. Never let anyone take your power away. What? What am I, a Decepticon? Like, what are you talking about? Take my power away. She was hammered. She had slurred speech. Pardon me.
I've done that several times.
She had delays in her thoughts. I mean, it was rough. That was not like look, if she's going through a divorce right now, as the allegations are, or whatever, or they're separated, I get she's going through a lot, then just don't make the statement. Exactly. But she made a lot of those statements when she was running, where she was semi-incoherent. Those of us who have ever like done any sort of like investigations involving alcohol, where you had to determine somebody's whether or not they're intoxicated or not, you're looking at her speech and you're like, I can't smell her, so that's out. But slurred speech, varied cadence in her voice, glassy eyes, yada yada yada. I could go on and on and on. 100% Cheetah, 100%, my friend. You're nailing it in the chat room over there.
Cheetah said sexual assault, Russia, not experienced enough. All red, not establishment enough for whoever's in the Senate.
By the way,
I'm so tired of the Russia, because I keep hearing is it Romania? I'm drawing a blank on what country their election just got nullified.
Romania.
Yeah, all right, because a judge ruled from a possible Russia interference in their election, and the right one. So of course, Russia.
Yep, it's amazing what they're going to use it for. It kills me.
Man, they give that man so much credit.
I know. They can't win a war against the Ukraine, but yet they can pull all this other stuff off.
Shit.
Unbelievable.
All right, brother. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Very good, sir.
Easy. He kind of.
Yeah, he must be having internet issues because he froze a few times before he ducked out.
So, all right, I'll be back Monday. Well, let me back it up. Sean, tell them where they can find you. I always forget to do that shit.
Sure, on Mondays and Fridays at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 in the East Coast, right here on the SHR Media Network, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and you can follow me on X, the number 2 Against Tyranny, or just search up Sackhead Sean. Please like and subscribe from wherever you're watching from. Every like helps. Every subscription helps. Every share helps. And if you don't like this show or you don't like my show, just come in and harass us in chat. That's your right to do so.
I've said it. Like me, hate me, want me to get a raise, want me to get fired. Leave that.
And I'll boost BZ too. BZ's every Tuesday and Thursday night in the SHR Media Network on all the same outlets: Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, X. I think I'm missing one, Twitch. And he's 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. And his chat room is also open, and you can harass him via his chat room as well. He would love it.
And when you're in
He
Rumble
needs
in
it.
the chat room, don't forget you can do the paid rants.
You know what? I always forget to check the Rumble chat during my show, and that's my apology.
I actually, because the way I do it first thing is I do the pop-up chats of Rumble, Twitter, my Twitter, and I'll usually throw up the YouTube over there because I forget that YouTube's over here too. But I'll pop them up. I don't always looking at there constantly, but every now and then I'll look over. Jiminy Crickets. The scammers never give up.
Never ever.
So, all right, brother.
All right, bud.
It. Have a great weekend. Yeah. All right, everybody. I've had fun. I appreciate everybody that was here. You can catch me, Reaver Common Sense, right here on SHR Media through Facebook, Rumble, X, Twitch, and YouTube. Until Monday, have a good weekend.